welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Ruby Gill, and I'm honored to welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So, attendees, I know you might be wondering the reason of gathering virtually. So, let me tell you something about today's webinar. We are going to have an incredible session with our experts today, and they are going to tell us about emotional design or to make products people will love. So, allow me to introduce the experts of today's webinar. Professor Bhaskar Mitra, Dean, School of Design, Fashion Design and Technology, lovely professional university. A fashion alumni of National Institute of Fashion Technology, did his master's in business administration and second master's in fashion and textile from Nottingham Trent University, United Kingdom, adding laurels to his academic acumen with a PhD on design and management from the University of Arts, London, United Kingdom. He has to his credit more than 36 design consultancy projects assisting the Development Commissioner under Ministry of Textile, Government of India. He has guided extensive research and got 56 patents, 300 copyrights and more than 50 paper publication in reputed journals of national and international repute. His area of research goes with sustainable craft development, traditional Indian textile, smart textile, innovation and research, marketing and retail. He has been a consultant for many international premium and luxury brands such as Zara, Mango, Valentino, Victoria's Secret, and so more, so many more. He has led the design school of LPU to have tie-ups with more fashion and international tie-ups with the industry in countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Southeast Asia as well. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Further, we have with us Mr. Firoz Khan, Assistant Professor, School of Design, Fashion and Technology, lovely professional university, an intellectual professional who is an alumnus of National Institute of Fashion and Technology, New Delhi. He is a connoisseur of luxurious Indian couture with more than 13 years of professional experience and design expertise. He has worked with renowned Indian brands like Ecru Luxury, Anjali, and Arjun Kapoor. He is running his eponymous brand of Indian wear as well. So, sir, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time as well. Next, I would like to welcome our admission expert, Ms. Rachna Bajaj, Senior Assistant, lovely professional university. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. So with this, I welcome you all again to the webinar and looking forward for a great interactive session. So over to you, sir, for the content of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Ruby. Thank you so much. And I welcome all my dear students who are a part of this session to have a wonderful time with us to understand what exactly is emotional design. Definitely, this presentation would be taken care by Professor Firoz Khan. And we can always have a question answer session after this session, after the presentation is done. You would understand more about emotions being incorporated in designing, and not just in designing. If you see any advertisement today, it's a very good advertisement. It's connected with people's mind psychologically, and you hold psychologically people's mind through emotions. You understand the need of the customer. So that's one of the brutal truth in today's world, that if you are not emotional with design, you will not be able to connect with the market and the customers. So let's hear from Mr. Firoz regarding this presentation. So I'll get back to Firoz, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Ruby, for the lovely introduction. And so, guys, good evening, everyone. So, as Ruby said, my name is Firoz, and today we will be taking you over how emotions are being used in product designing, product marketing, and how it is very, very crucial at this point in time where design is not done orthodox in an orthodox way. It has evolved over a period of time. The way designs are made are evolved, and how they are marketed are evolved. So we'll be discussing about how emotions should be and are mixed in designing a product, or whether it's fashion, whether it's accessories, whether it's small products. So I'm going to be talking about small product in the initial part of the presentation so that you can connect to it better, and how that emotions develop a product which actually people love to buy and take back home, maybe as a gift, maybe as a souvenir, or maybe just a part of their life. So it is an extremely important part in the product development these days. So yeah, let's begin. So what is emotional design? So that's very basic question that comes to your mind whenever you talk about any concept development. So let's just define it first. Okay, so the emotional design is a concept of how to create design that invoke emotions which result in positive user experience. So the important takeaway from this particular slide is the emotions and a positive user experience. So I'm sure you can understand the images that I've used are very small products. It is just a tape dispenser, and then you have a stapler. So but what you see here is you see kind of emotions attached to them. So you see a panda, you see a animal there, and you see on the other hand you see two men struggling to pull something out, right? So but the moment you see it, I'm sure it invokes some kind of emotions to it, whether it's happy, whether it's cute. When I was making this presentation, I was online with my niece, and when I was showing the pictures to her, she was like, oh chachu, it's so cute. So that's the kind of emotion that it invokes in every individual. So that should ideally be the case. Whenever you're designing any product, it should have some emotions associated with it, whether it's happy, sad, or whatever you want to convey to your consumer. It's extremely important. I'm sure you must have a lot of experience. If you see brands like Chumbak, if you happen to see brand like Chumbak, I'm sure you will be able to enter that store, and there is no way that you are not going to connect to one product or the other. So it's extremely important, and that's how that brand, as a brand, how they are encashing upon the consumer. They are encashing upon the consumer who want to have certain emotion back to their life. I'm sure everyone is aware that that we have a busy schedule in life. We don't have too much of time for ourselves, and during COVID things have changed a lot. We have been surrounded by we've been in four walls in our room. So but the moment you step out, you want to have certain things back to your life. So brands like Chumbak is very classic good example of how those small little products get a piece of your that a piece of emotions back to your life. I'm sure in this slide you have a lot of cuteness, I would say. There are a lot of cuteness, and you can see product which are actually emotional. You can see you are able to associate even a movie, or maybe you must have seen a documentary on wildlife on National Geographic or maybe Discovery, and there are certain extremely good examples of it. So I'm sure you can see on your extreme right the Kung Fu Panda just holding an incense stick. So the moment you see these products, there were very similar images that I've selected for this particular slide. They are giving you some sense of your childhood, right? The emotions are very positive. You feel happy. I'm sure you are smiling when you look at such product. And if they are under your budget, there is no question that you're going to carry that back home. So emotion, I'm sure everyone understand that it's a very integral, very important part of any human life. You feel sad when someone tells you a sad story, whether it's your breakup, whether it's someone having a tough time during school. There are a lot of emotions that are attached to it. You might feel happy, you might be very happy when you are in love, probably, right? So there are so many emotions that a human being have. So there is no so how are these human emotions are encashed by brands is what we are going to talk about. uh, in this particular slides, I'm sure you are able to understand that these are small little products. I'm sure they tell you a story of a child, and how beautifully these these products are created, how they are being utilized, and making your lifestyle more contemporary, more nostalgic in its flavor. So the flavor is there, right? In this, all these images that you see is, I'm sure you will be able to associate those cartoons that you have seen when you were young, or you see your cartoons with your niece, nephews when they are young. So the whole market today is evolving. Cartoon are becoming a very, very important part of even adults' life. So there is this student at LPU that we have, we were doing a design process with her, and then she said the first thing that I do in the morning is watch Shing Shang. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. So that's how people want to go back to their childhood, relive that phase, because everyone is becoming adult very, very soon. So there are brands, as I said, Chumbak, who are encashing upon that. So there are brands all across the world who are delivering, designing, and marketing their product in a way to encash a lot of nostalgia back to consumers' life. So these images that you see on your screens are very, very good example. I have not used bigger images because that will land up having some other emotions. So I've restricted this webinar to small little products, so you can see the cuteness that is there in these images, the kind of nostalgia that you have, and I'm sure you are able to associate with them, connect to these products at some level of your life. Again, a lot of brands are encashing upon the packaging of their product. Very, very important part. Packaging is something very, very interesting that is happening across the entire design domain. Whether you look at coffee, whether you look how cups are designed, whether you look at how lip balms are designed, products like uh, uh, products like cosmetics are packaged. The other day I was watching Sushmita Sen's Priyanka Chopra's interview on her line of products, where she was saying that the packaging that she has done for her cosmetic line is totally sustainable. It will be used, reused, and reused again and again. So that's how people are marketing their products. They are getting sustainability back, they are getting your childhood back, they're getting nostalgia back to your life. They are invoking some sort of emotions to it. Apps these days, for example, whenever you look at a lot of apps, we are surrounded by a lot of technology these days. So even apps, for that matter, are encashing on that. Every app that you have on your phone have a different feel to it, right? For example, the moment you open Amazon, it's got a different feel. It get different, you have different emotions attached to it. The moment you open Amazon, the moment you open Flipkart, Myntra, you open Zara app, you open Forever 21, every app that you see has a different feel and look to it, and that's where they are encashing upon the emotions that they want to really reinvent. Okay. So again, very, very good examples. Brand, how they are using this power of emotions to reach the consumer, how they are reaching the consumer, and how they're selling the products, and how these people are taking those little emotions back home. There are people, I've seen it myself, there are beautiful cups, or coffee cups that are available. Starbucks does that, a lot of other brands does it. They design it in a way that you don't feel like throwing them. You keep and you take it back. One of my friend took that cup back home, and he cut it and he pasted on his wall. Now he's using as the back cover of his mobile phone. So that's how people want to connect to a product, not just coffee, it's the packaging of the mug also. So how beautiful it is done. So let's back to another very, very good example that you see on your screen is a shoe that has been designed in a certain way, where it just tells you, the kind of hole that is had. Very spooky though, very, very horrific, but it does, obviously, since we are talking about emotion, horror is also part of emotions, right? So the moment you see that, it's as if someone is just getting out, they getting their hand out of sand, or getting their hand out of the floor, and it's just engulfing your feet, right? And but that's the emotion that a designer like Dolce & Gabbana has tried to invoke. So let's come back to small products again. Beautifully done keychains, and how they are actually redefining how you think about a product as simple as a keychain holder, right? You can see a honeycomb, how it is beautifully designed. You come back home, you open your door, you have this honeycomb lying on your wall, and how you place strategically, you place your key into it, and I'm sure you understand that it's not going to fall off, right? So how beautiful it is designed. Another very, very good example of a house with a male and a female, and how different nicely a key has been placed on it. I'm sure the moment you see such product, it is not possible, it is completely impossible that you don't have certain emotions coming out of you the moment you see such product. There's another beautiful picture on your left, which is this, and the emotion that it got me when I was selecting this picture for the presentation was, my nephew, and my sister always keep on running towards closing those electric sockets which are which are at his reach. He's just 4 year old, and it reminded me of that. It reminded me as if he's trying to pull that wire out of it. So that's the kind of emotion a product is capable of getting back to your life. So, and a lot of people, if that product is available around me, I'm surely going to buy. And that's the level of connection that I got with this product. And in fact, for not just the socket and the bulb, but all the product that I see on the screen, if it's available, I would like to get them back home. So that's the connection that you have with a product, and such a beautiful connect that it has. So what we are going to teach today, what we are going to be discussing rather, because 1 hour is too less to teach anything. So what we are going to discuss today is how you should design a product which should ideally connect to your consumer, and your consumer should be able to connect to it as much as you wanted them to connect, and how you want to how do you want them to perceive that product, and so that they take it back home. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. It's a design victory for you as a designer. It's an emotional victory for the consumer who's buying it, and by the end of it, you as a brand is earning money. So another very, very good example that I happen to put on this particular screen is mobile phone. And I'm sure everyone from a 4-year kid to a 60 or 90-year-old kid has access to this device. So, but this device was not always what you see today. The kind of iPhones that we have today, how the evolved design that we have was not always like that. The first mobile phone that you ever, I'm sure you must have seen, or your parents must be talking, it was almost like a brick that you used to hold across your face, and it was so bulky that it was like a whole bulkiness that comes to your ear. But what has happened now, it is now the evolution is how important that evolution that you can see from that bulkiness, that brick looking phone, that now you have such sleek, beautifully designed phones like iPhone. And I'm sure it's one of the most recognized brand in the world, the most recognized logo in the world. And what you see here is an iPhone. So for what an iPhone user is going to spend a good hefty amount to buy an iPhone? It's basically not just the look, it's the sleekness, it's just the design that iPhone or the Apple offers to the consumer. Is the sleekness, is the design of it. The most important is the design. Interestingly, I'm sure everyone understand that phone. Whenever you go to a phone, you always hold that phone, and you like to see what does it look like in your hand. What is the hold of that phone in your hand, right? And one of very, very good example given to me by a very, very senior person, industry person to me, when I happened to be a part of. He took me. He was planning to buy a car, and he went to buy a BMW, and he was doing a test drive. Unfortunately, I was there next to him, and it was a wonderful, wonderful car. And he got out of that showroom after the test drive, and he said, no, I didn't like it. I was like, sir, don't you think it's a world-class car? So he's like, and he comes to me and he says, Firoz, I couldn't connect to this vehicle. I just couldn't. And the next stop was Mercedes. So we went to the Merc showroom, and he drove this S-Class, and he was like, okay, I like it, and he bought that car. So that's the kind of connect that a product has to an individual who is looking for an emotional attachment to that particular product. A very, very good example, I could quote at this point in time is a scene from a movie called Avatar, and I'm sure a lot of you must have seen a very, very revolutionary movie in which the main lead gives his the pony to the animal that was flying, and it engulfs it, so that they could have a connect to it. So that's the importance of a connect, not just a product. Anything that comes to your life, people, I'm sure you can associate it with people also. You can connect to few people and you are repulsive towards the rest of the people. So it's a very, very good, interesting point of discussion whenever we do that. So another very, very interesting fact that came when I was researching about the topic today was, when the phone were launched, when the phone was as bulky as a brick, when it was launched, and not everyone could afford that phone, because it was a luxury at that point in time. It was not a necessity, it was a luxury. So when people used to have that phone, people used to perceive the other person who's got that phone in a different way. Oh my god, he must be rich, that he can afford this beautiful device and can talk to anyone at any point in time, at any part of the world. So it was a luxury. So what people started doing, they started having fake phones. That's a very, very interesting point. So they started having fake phones, and the moment they are traveling in the train, and the moment they pull out that phone just to fake that they have a phone, so people used to perceive them and used to say, oh boy, is that a true phone? And so you can understand that the kind of emotion even a product like a telephone in way back when it was launched had on different people, not just for the people who was owning that phone. So it is absolutely a very, very good example of it. Yeah. So now let's come back to another part of the criteria. How can you create a product which people love? So basically, how do you design emotional designs? That is something very, very interesting that we can do today as an exercise. And to my best of knowledge, I could draw 3 important points to create emotional design. The first was effectiveness, how effective that product is in, and what kind of effect that product gets to a person's life. So the effectiveness of that product is extremely important, what kind of effect a person is getting. The other point that came highlighted was efficiency, how efficient that product is. There are product, for example, you buy a phone and you invest, like, let's say 25,000 rupees, and by the end of it, oh my god, this phone is hanging. The efficiency is not what you expected. So the moment your efficiency is less, the design is failed. So you need to have a good effectiveness. That effectiveness is extremely important, and the efficiency of that phone is very important. When you are covered with these 2 important points, which is effectiveness and efficiency, the third point that comes to highlight is satisfaction. How satisfied you are by using that effective, efficient phone or effective, efficient product. So that's the kind of 3 important points that you need to, as design student, you need to ask yourself, address them, and design accordingly. That's something that you need to do as a design student. You need to see the effectiveness, the efficiency of the product, and satisfaction that a consumer is going to take back home after holding that product, or taking that product, or owning that product. That is something extremely important. So so keep in mind these three important points. I'll repeat: is effectiveness, is efficiency, and satisfaction. So I'm going to be covering each point in a bit of detail, how it is important, and with few examples. Again, I'm not using very, very big examples. As a design student, we don't expect you to do make buildings and all that. We do, but at a level where you can achieve things, we are expecting to look at small little product, and so that's the product that I've concentrated on. So the effectiveness, as I said, it's an extremely important point, right? So does it do the thing right? You need to ask yourself 3 questions first: effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. And under these categories also, you need to ask questions like, does it do the right thing? For example, on your left, you see a beautiful house, ceramic, where you can keep your that what you call kachua chap, right, for mosquito repellent, and you keep it, and it's doing the right thing. It is effective, it is giving it is spreading the right smoke around your house, and it is beautiful in its approach. And I'm sure people who use mosquito repellent like these would don't mind holding it, because it is child proof. Children might not just go and hold it, but yes, it is doing its job right. And very, very good images on your screen where you see penguins, which looks like actual penguins and holding eggs in the tummy. Beautifully created, very well connected. A consumer can very well connect to it. Another picture that you see, a cat that is just cuddling and moving around, and you can place your phone to it, and beautifully created pieces, very emotional. So the first question you ask, does it do the things right? The second question you should be asking under effectiveness is, does it get the things done that are important? I'm sure you buy things for a certain reason. There are reasons like decorative reason, for utilitarian reason. So I'm sure you can see the products that you see on your screen are very utilitarian. They have certain utility in someone's life. So when you answer this question, does it do that? Does it get the things done that are important? Yes. The first picture, which is about the mosquito repellent, it's doing its job. Second, it is boiling egg, absolutely perfect. And the third is holding the phone whenever you're having your lunch or dinner, and how beautifully it is created and how beautifully it is serving its purpose. So the effectiveness, so we had two questions, and all the product that you see on your screen are well answered. Technically, they are very emotional design. They are good design examples. So another second point that we wanted to cover was efficiency. How efficient a product is in your life. How is it making your life easy, physically, mentally? So I'm sure you understand. So there's a very good example that you see. Softwares. A lot of softwares are evolving every now and then. A lot of software or a lot of apps that you guys as design students are using every now and then, maybe just to edit your pictures, maybe to create reels, maybe to create a lot of things, right? So there are apps that you would categorize as user friendly, right? There are apps that are very difficult to understand. So the efficiency is that. So is it user friendly? Is it making my life easier? Is it making my mental? Is it minimizing my mental effort? Is it minimizing my physical effort? So that's the efficiency a product should have. So these two pictures that you see on your screen are actually screenshot of my own phone, where I've placed this phone, and you can see the various things that are available as a phone, which is do not disturb sign whenever if you're sleeping, hotspot whenever you're on the go and you want Wi-Fi connected. So these are the efficiency of a phone which are required as a consumer. So is it serving the purpose? Yes, it is serving the purpose for me, so I can connect to this phone. Do I need calculator once in a while? Does it have a low power mode? Does it tell me the location? Does it have an airplane mode? Does it save my battery? All these are the points which I used, which I like to call as checkpoint, which these checkpoints are the points which tells me that is the product efficient? Is it making my life easy? So that is something that we need to answer and questions, right? So the efficiency should be checked. Okay. I'll read it out the slide for you. It means, does it do the minimum effort? Does it do that with minimum effort, the minimum mental effort or minimum physical effort? So a lot of apps, not just apps, a lot of tools are available these days in the market that decreases the that increases the efficacy of human effort, and also decreases the minimum effort that we make to get a job done. So for example, if there are two offices, one runs on traditional bahikatas, those books that people used to maintain to have those accounts, right? And there is another office that run on developed software to do entries of any merchandise. Which do you think is going to make the life of the person who is doing that job easier? Obviously the person who is using the software. It's easy to add, easy to subtract, easy to get average. Whenever you want to go back to your data, you can always go back anywhere in any part of the world. You don't have to carry those bulky books which was covered with thread. So is the efficiency of software increasing, decreasing the human effort? Yes, it is. So it is emotional, so we can emotionally attach to it. The second question that you might be asking in the under the efficiency parameter is taking extra effort that is unnecessary. Is as I said, is it making your life easy? Is it making life is it saving your time? Is it so that you can use that extra time somewhere else, something more concrete, something more efficient? So you need to answer these two questions whenever you are designing something. It can be a website, it can be a product, home furnishing, it can be accessories, it can be anything that is that you as an individual needs in your life. So these two questions should be answered. The third important point after efficiency and effectiveness is satisfaction. How are you satisfied after using that product? Does that product make you feel good? This is one question that you need to ask. Lot of groups are created across the globe. So for example, if someone is creating a product, so what they call it, they have a lot of groups in Western Europe and Western world, where these products are given to those groups, and they use that product for a while, and they come and give you the feedback. So that tells you the satisfaction a consumer is going to get, consumer is going to get after using that product. So it is very important, if you're creating a product, use it yourself. Okay. A lot of fashion designers, what they do is, once they make up outfit, they get into it, they see how it feels, and does it feel right on the body? Is the fabric right for you? Is the lining right for you? Is the trends right for you? Is it too bling or is it too subtle? So that satisfaction that you get as a designer will only come when you use it firsthand. So it is very important that you use that product yourself and see the level of satisfaction that you get. If you're developing a software, you like to run that software not just by you, by other people, so that you can catch those bugs. And I'm sure you are well aware of that, the terminology that I used. The other point that you need to answer is, do you feel happy having used this system or use the piece of software? I have already covered this. So please analyze this level of satisfaction that you get whenever you design a product and whenever you use a product. Okay. So I'm going just going to be wrapping it up in another 2-3 slides, where I will be telling you how to apply emotional design in your design. It is extremely important. The first thing is, give your design a personality. Give something, give a face to your product. It's extremely important. Use of a mascot, use certain image, use certain illustration, so that the consumer can relate to it and empathize with it. And a very good example here is this MailChimp's monkey. So the moment you see this, it invokes an emotions that, okay, there's something is coming back to your home, like a mail is coming to your home. So whenever you are designing, and I'm sure everyone who plan to start their own brand or plan to run any business of there, you will be working on your logos. So you will be designing your logo so that that logo, people can look at that logo and they remind of you. The second important aspect is, create a strong, consistent brand. You can have a unique theme. You can highlight your design and and you can give a first impression to your product. Okay, the moment I see Hermes as a brand, it reminds me of luxury. The moment you see this yellow symbol and the yellow background and white symbol, it reminds me of luxury, the Italian luxury, the amount, the great craftsmanship that brand offered. When you look at a brand like Versace, it gives you that ultra uber chic kind of outfit, right? So you need to do that. So you need to use the right colors. Color psychology can be a very interesting part to do this process. Have the right icons, have the right font, so that your visuals that you are trying to create, trying to show to your consumer, can give you the right communication. Okay. So to me, so you need to give a personality to your product, have a good strong personality, and then you should use the right color, icon and fonts to create that imagery, so that the people can go back and remember you whenever they see your logo. Another extremely good, very recently evolved concept is storytelling. A lot of people are encashing about this storytelling, how these people are using the power of storytelling to sell their brand. A very good example that I lately saw was by this brand, I forgot the name of this brand. So this designer I'm so sorry, it just completely slipped off my mind. So this designer was participating in Couture Week this time, and how he this is actual cropped out images from his Instagram page. What you see here is he has put his karigars on the front page of every design of on his Instagram page, telling that these are the people who have made my design. Saman Chauhan, I just recall Saman Chauhan, very talented guy, a NIFT alumni himself. He did this and he showed that these are the people. Can you see the people that's there on the screen? That these are the karigar, these are the tailor, these are the machine embroiderers, these are the hand embroiderers who have done this collection. And the moment you have this connection to your brand, the connection to your product, people start liking it more. They understand that how much hard work has gone into creating one masterpiece that is being that will be projected and showcased in what do you call it, Couture Week. So a wonderful good example to see. And a lot of, not just Saman Chauhan, Rahul Mishra, Tarun Teliani, every big designer who's participated in Couture Week this time has done this storytelling to their brand, and to my understanding has done good to their brand, and people have started looking them as sustainable people who are making a lot of household work over a period of time. So just to conclude this presentation, I would like to read out a quote. I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So feeling, emotions is something that is extremely important, said by Maya. So another very interesting quote. With this, I'll rest my presentation today. Thank you so much, and I hope I was able to add on to your understanding of design. So if we have some questions, we can take that. Guys, if you have any questions, so please feel free to ask in the chat section.
Thank you so much, sir, for an impactful presentation. You have bounded us with your visionary thoughts. And yes, sir, before we move on to the question and answer, we have our admission expert with us, Ms. Rachna Bajaj. So, ma'am, over to you for the admission part of the university.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. So, good evening, everyone. I'll be just quickly sharing the glimpse of our official website and some of the details regarding the program and how you can explore for these programs to apply for admissions at LPU. So, what you have to do is just simply visit our website www.lpu.in. And on the top, you will see an icon of admissions where we have segregated all the programs as per your eligibility, be it related to after 10th programs, after 12th programs, after graduation, or after post-graduation programs for PhD level. So let's say you are interested in after 12th programs, the bachelor's program. Just click on it, and all the programs which are available after 12th at our university at LPU will be visible right in front of you. So as we have students from fashion design field, I'll just click on fashion design, and all the programs like BSc design, which is a 3 years program, B design, which is a 4 years program, and further 2+2 with international credit transfer option will be available right in front of you. So for your detail, I'll just open B design, the 4 years program with total 8 semesters. And here you can see that we have listed the eligibility criteria, which clearly states that if a student has scored 95% or above in 12th, you are directly eligible to take admission in this program. If not, if you have scored below 90 or 50 to 90, then you need to qualify the LPU NEST, National Entrance and Scholarship Test organized by LPU, or you can also take admission through any national level test like UC, undergraduate NID DAT, or undergraduate NIFT. Moving ahead, we have mentioned some key highlights, some student achievements, the rankings, which are, I suppose, one of the most important aspects you should be considering before taking admission in any university. The curriculum for next 4 years with all the practical and theoretical aspects. And here we have listed the fee structure, the monetary aspect. Although the without scholarship fees for this program was 1,20,000, but we have several scholarships for you. So let's say if you score between any of these in these national level tests, or if you score between 80 to 89.9% in 12th, you will directly fall in category 3, that is of 20%, and your fees will be reduced to 96,000 per semester. If you score even better, these are the ranks for the national level test, and in 12th, if you score between 90 to 94.9, you will fall in category 2, that is of 30% scholarship, and your fees will be reduced to 84,000 per semester. Last but not the least, these are the ranks, the highest ranks for the national level test, or if you score 95% or above in your 12th, you will fall in category 1, that is of 40%, and your fees will be reduced to 72,000 per semester. Let's say if you couldn't score well in any of these categories, you have this LPU NEST exam as well, as this test is not only for eligibility, but it will also help you avail better scholarship. So this is the cutoff, tentative cutoff required to fall in category 1, 2, and 3 scholarship accordingly. So once you scroll down, you can see some other scholarships, some other financial aids we have mentioned for this program. And down here, we have listed the important dates. So as you can see that the last date to take admission in this program is 30th September 2022. But the classes for this program have already commenced. So take your decision wisely and quickly to enroll yourself in this program. In case if you have any queries related to the admission or anything, feel free to get in touch with us. Down here, we have listed our helpline numbers, and on the right side of the screen, we have our live video counseling icon. We have a schedule a call icon for you, and our WhatsApp team is also available for you. So over to you, Dr. Ruby. I hope I have shared the basic information a student is required to apply for admissions at LPU. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the detailed information about the admission part. So with this, we'll conclude our today's webinar. That's all for today. Thank you, attendees, for sparing time and participating in today's webinar. We appreciate you all for being here, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by the inputs and inputs and learning shared by our experts. And experts, thank you so much for your valuable contribution. I'm sure your years of research, your years of experience will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off this session. Thank you.